Hello everyone and welcome to today's lesson. In this video, we are going to explore one of the most important structures in English, there is and there are. But we are going to look at them in a variety of different ways. We will start with basics, with simple sentences, and then gradually move to more complex forms. I'll show you how to go from A2 level all the way to C1 using the same grammar. Throughout the video, you'll find a lot of practical exercises. Once you see an exercise, pause the video and practice. We will go step by step, so each next exercise will be a little bit more difficult than the previous one. And at the end of the video, I've prepared a list of idioms. These are expressions that contains the same grammar there is, there are, and they can help you to make your speech more lively and dynamic, so you can use them on daily basis. So get a pen, get ready to practice, and let's make your English even better. What is there is and what is there are? We use there is, there are to say that something exists somewhere. We use there is for singular noun and we use there are for plural noun. In affirmative sentences, there is plus singular noun plus place. There is a cat on the chair, one cat. There are plus plural noun plus place. There are birds in the sky, many birds. Question form, is or are. Go forward, is there plus singular noun plus place. Is there a cat on the chair? Are there plus plural noun plus place. Are there birds in the sky? Negative form, we use there isn't or there aren't. There isn't plus singular noun plus place. There aren't plus plural noun plus place. There isn't a cat on the chair. There aren't birds in the sky. I think everybody remembers this structure. Now let's refresh your memory and practice on a simple exercise. Pause the video and do it. Choose the correct form of there is or there are. Now let's make the task a little bit more difficult. Look at the picture and say what is there in the lady's bag. Next one. What is there in the wardrobe? What is there on the table? What is there in the living room? Now let's make the task even more difficult. Let's learn how to make complex sentences using very simple constructions. Look at this example. How did I turn this into that? The first sentence sounds pretty easy. There is pollution in the city. Then we start to complicate it. And what do we have at the end? There is an alarming level of air pollution in the city, posing significant health risks and highlighting the urgent need for sustainable urban development. Look how much more complicated the sentence has become. How to do it? In fact, any sentence with simple grammar can be made very complicated by adding details or using different techniques, and I'll show you a few. The first thing that you can do to make a sentence more complex, it's adding prepositional phrases. I think it's very easy to understand. Don't forget to say where your object is located. Compare these two sentences. Simple, there is a table. Complex, there is a table in the kitchen. And even more complex, there is a table in the corner of the kitchen. The second thing that you can do, adding different adjectives. Compare. Simple version. There is a cat. Complex. There is a small cat. And even more complex, there is a fluffy black cat. Instead of fluffy, it can be any adjective. Here, of course, everything depends on your vocabulary, how rich it is. That's why it is necessary to learn new words all the time. Number 3, adding a relative clause. Simple version. There are books. Complex. There are books on the shelf. Prepositional phrase, yeah? Even more complex, there are books on the shelf that I haven't read yet. Instead of I haven't read yet can be any relative clause, like there are books on the shelves that I promised to give my sister. There are books on the shelf that I have to read during my summer holidays. There are books on the shelf that I really love. Number 4, using a participle phrase. So what is participle phrase? In such sentences, the participle phrase helps add context or explain the reason for the action. For example, there is a car. Complex form, there is a car parked outside. And even more complex, there is a car parked outside waiting for its owner. Both phrases, parked outside and waiting for its owner, explain the reason for an action. Number 5, adding an adverb of place and time. It's also an easy thing that you can do. There is a meeting tomorrow. How to make complex? There is an important meeting tomorrow at 3 p.m. We just added time. Number 6, using quantifiers like many, few, several, a lot of, some. Here, of course, it is important to understand how to use them correctly. But I'm sure that many English learners know even the simplest of them. Let's look at these sentences. There are several books on the table. There are a lot of books on the table, some of which are very old. 3 quantifiers are used here. Several, a lot of, some of which. Now let's go back to our first example and analyze it again. Which of these techniques did I use? A2. There is a pollution in the city. B1. There is a lot of pollution in the city that makes it hard to breathe. A lot of quantifiers that makes it hard to breathe, it's a relative clause. B2 level. There is a severe air pollution in the city caused by heavy traffic and industrial emissions. Severe, it's an adjective. Caused by heavy traffic and industrial emissions, participle phrase. Finally, C1. How would the sentence sound at C1 level, according to my version, of course? There is an alarming level of air pollution in the city, posing significant health risks and highlighting the urgent need for sustainable urban development. Here are used alarming. It's an adjective. Posing significant health risks and highlighting the urgent need for sustainable urban development, the whole last part of the sentence, it's a practical phrase. Now it's your turn to practice making sentences more complex. Pause the video and try to develop the sentence into a more complex one. And at the end, I'll show you my version. Now I want to demonstrate to you a few idioms that have the same grammar structure there is and there are. Why do we need to learn idioms? Because they make your speech more dynamic, natural, and sophisticated. And the best thing about idioms that they almost never have complex grammar and they are quite easy to remember. So let's learn a few right now. There is no place like home, meaning home is the most comfortable or special place. A home is a place of spiritual strength, and for each person it is something special, filled with many pleasant memories, and there is no other place like it. Example: after traveling for so long, I can't wait to get back, because there is no place like home. There is no such thing as free lunch, meaning you cannot get something for nothing. Everything has a cost. You have to pay every time then you use something. Example: don't believe that promise. There is no such thing as a free lunch. There is no time like the present, meaning the best time to do something is now, not later. If you plan to do something, do it immediately. Don't wait for the best moment. Example: stop procrastinating. There is no time like the present to start working on your goals. Alright guys, I hope you found this video helpful. If yes, please like, share and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Remember, practice makes perfect. Practice regularly and success will not keep you waiting. Bye! See you in the next videos.